podcasts, audio, and video are available at amomentintime.com. To find out how your company can help bring history to life through a sponsorship of A Moment in Time, contact Dan Roberts at droberts@richmond.edu and look for us on Facebook at Moment in Time Series with Dan Roberts.
The material discussed in this program is for information purposes only. It is not intended to be used as a recommendation for investing or as legal advice. Each person has his or her specific situation, circumstance, and objective, and should consult their own personal advisor or counsel. Thursday morning on KSJE, and that's when we check in with Jason Calcote from Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation to talk about the economy. Jason, good morning.
Good morning, Scott. How are you?
I am well, thanks. Thanks for being with us. And what have you brought with you this week?
Well, I wanted to start off to just kind of talk about a little bit of the what's going on domestically with the U.S. economy. Everybody knows that we had that tax plan introduced at the beginning of the year.
Right, the big tax bill, right?
Right. We've got a lot of stuff going on with that. A lot of people were happy with the narrower ranges for income tax. But one thing there was another huge focus on that was small businesses.
Okay.
So we've got these tax cuts and deregulations for the industry and small businesses, and we've really seen that come to light now. We've seen the effects of that now that it's had some time throughout the year. And in August, we saw very strong results for small business optimism. It surged to a record high in August, according to a survey by the National Federation of Independent Businesses, or INFIB, I guess.
Okay, all right.
So INFIB has this small business optimism index, and it jumped to 108.8 last month, which is a record high for that. So
interesting.
You've seen the tax cuts really allow for small businesses to expand, and there's a general sense of optimism about that. The last time that the numbers were even near that was in '83 when Reagan was president.
Wow.
So
that's a long time ago.
It is a very long time ago. The survey's only been around for about 45 years.
Right.
They seem to have an index for everything these days.
Okay.
So it measures things like job creation plans, capital spending plans, expansion plans. So really, where small businesses are seeing into the future.
Right.
So that, in turn, has had a direct impact on the U.S. economy, which expanded 4.2% in the second quarter.
Okay.
So
which is very strong, right?
It is.
It's
very strong.
Big number.
Big number. We've seen things domestically really do well throughout this first part of the year. We're coming into the back half of the year now, and domestically, everything is really running smooth. We've still got a little bit of unrest in the geopolitical scene,
right?
Whether or not you agree with the current administration, and because things are going so well here, now we kind of shift the spotlight back to what's going on with China and our players in the global trade.
Some of that. And that could have some long-term effects on the economy, I suppose. But for right now, these indicators you're sharing with us look like things are more on the positive side.
Right. This could have a negative impact on it. Luckily, we've seen that trade talks are being opened again with China. It seems like we're going back and forth and back and forth. But the U.S. is poised to activate $200 billion worth of tariffs on Chinese goods.
No.
And that includes things like tech products and consumer goods. Some of the things I've seen mentioned are bicycles and handbags. So I guess if you're in the market for a handbag, you may want to buy it sooner than later.
I guess so.
So that could have a negative impact on, we've got the things going well domestically, but they're one of our big trade players. We really need to be on par with them.
Right. But I guess the other side of that is that they're not on par with us, and so that's the reasons for, I think, some of this stuff, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, the administration feels like it's been unfair for a long time with China.
Right.
So I think we're really working hard to make that more beneficial for the U.S. And speaking on that, another domestic development is a drop in the producer prices. Mm-hmm. So we've seen selling prices go down domestically, but now we've got these tariffs that may be introduced, and I feel like that's going to make the prices jump right back up.
Right.
So it's going to be, you got to keep an eye on China. We've got inflation in check. We've got this 2% target that we've been hitting all year. So everything's going well there, so that's kind of interesting that the producer price index, so the PPI, did fall a little bit because inflation is in check, rates are rising, so you would expect to see prices rise a little bit too.
Right. But they didn't.
But they didn't. Not in August. No, and the first time it's fell since August of 2017.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah, we'll need to keep an eye on that for sure.
All right. Very good. What else you got for us?
Well, and I mean, in other news, you know, the markets are doing well.
Okay.
We've got.
I got a chart. I got a chart for that, Jason. Let's take a look for folks who are watching us live this morning. So we will take a look at the chart, and I believe this one is the S&P 500.
Yeah, S&P 500.
Right?
This is the best measure for the U.S. economy as a whole. We've got 500 stocks in here, and it is at a record high, I believe, right now.
This is a year-to-date chart, by the way.
Okay, year-to-date. Yeah, I do think it's near a record high, if not already there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going well.
Okay, very good. And then the other one I pulled off here is the, I believe this is Dow Jones.
Okay, so this is the Dow Jones, again, the top 30 industrial stocks in the U.S. economy. And you can see by the chart that we really hit a big bump in February. And so we're climbing steadily back up to that point. Everything's been healthy for the past month.
Right.
And, yeah.
Another year to date. And then the Nasdaq is the other exchange we're watching this morning.
The Nasdaq, all the tech stocks are in the Nasdaq. And, you know, that's bumped around a little bit too. But, again, a record high on the Nasdaq right now. And, you know, everything is looking really good domestically.
Still trending upwards, and that's what you want to see, I suppose, right?
So but if we can iron out foreign relations, I think we're going to be good.
Okay, very good. Oil and gas?
Oil and gas is it's stagnant right now. You know, it's still hovering around the high 60s. We're kind of waiting on OPEC. OPEC will meet in November.
Okay.
And we'll see if they still cap production.
Right.
I'm not sure that they're going to. You know, they've seen the price rise. They've seen what the U.S. has done with that. So I think we might see more of an output from the places like Iran and other the OPEC nations.
Okay. Natural gas still where it's been?
Natural gas is still where it's been. Yep, unfortunately. We're looking for that to go up a little more. So
all right,
keep an eye on that too.
We'll see what happens. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks,
all right.
Scott.
Jason, thank you very much. That's Jason Calcote from Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, my guest here on KSJE.